Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So this is just a normal day, and I saw on Facebook when I was scrolling about Michael Rosen being on was it Good Morning Britain and talking about meningitis. I didn't know that his son Eddie died of meningitis, and just then I went and looked at the sad book, which was about it, and carrying the elephant. And then there's a video, Apples and something, I can't remember, that he did for this company, Apple, this charity, I think, detailing how it happened because of this outbreak, obviously, in Kent, of the students who died of meningitis B. Eddie's was meningitis C. Just the idea of the, because it brings into what I talk about on the Pursuit of Truth, what I've talked about a lot recently, obviously since my mum's passing and even before, about death, and the aspect of the moment, and how he talks about, his son was, had like flu symptoms, groggy, achy, told him to take paracetamol and Nurofen, not at the same time though. I do believe actually you can take them at the same time, and ice cream. And before he went to bed, when he went into his room before he went to sleep, he checked on him and he was okay. And then in the middle of the night, he heard him wake up, and I think he said he sighed because he had to go somewhere early in the morning, so he didn't want to wake up. Oh, I know what that feels like. And not knowing that that was the last moment he heard his son alive, because his son went in there, and apparently after the paramedics came, he found that he'd been sick in the toilet. I don't know why he didn't flush. I don't know how he didn't hear him being sick, but it depends how far away these rooms were. And the ice cream container was there. I mean, it's just so sad. It's like a poem itself, and obviously the way he portrays it is very poetic in that way. But that idea of that empty ice cream, the last thing that a dad had given him. Like he was 18 years old. Like it, and in the sad book with the illustrations by Quentin Blake, it's got pictures of him as a child playing with him, father and son. And I know how that is with, like, with Michelle or Lena or Aiden, and those memories and time passing and stuff, which I often talk about. And just, as a father giving these things, and that was the last thing, as a father, to eat this ice cream and make it feel better, or take these tablets. He obviously went back to sleep. They both went back to sleep. And then when Michael Rosen woke up to check Eddie, he went to his room and he didn't answer. And then when he felt him, he was cold and he knew he was dead. And phoned the paramedics, they asked him to move him, and he said his arm, it was stiff. And then he saw the rash under the arm pits. Because obviously they talk about meningitis and they talk about the rash and the glass thing and etc. And you think that it's going to be everywhere or something like chickenpox, but apparently it can be in those hidden places. Um, and obviously the paramedics came there and confirmed he was dead. And just the fact that he talks about, when he threw up in the toilet, why he didn't come and get him. Could things have been different then? If maybe not, maybe he would have just, comforted him, watched him fall asleep, and then gone back to bed, like you do. You especially, you don't know. That's why it's, with death, you don't know when that moment's going to be. You're not expecting it, so you don't know how to prepare and plan for that moment. You don't get, a stamp, a date of death. And then it was making the other day. I was watching this neighbour who I know his wife passed away sometime, and I just, for some reason, I don't know, maybe in my brain, do you think it's because it's the same day that it happened and my brain remembers, but I don't? But just, because I've seen him many times, but I just saw him walking, it was a sunny day, into, to his house. And then I started thinking about how him having to live that same life but now his wife is gone. It's been years, but just, like you think about, when you die, how is it going to be? Well, the truth of the matter is that everything's just going to continue going on, and it's weird that just, and because you can see it, and when you see other people who their partners have passed, you can see that. I can see that, how he's walking to his house, the same journey he did when she was alive, going through the door, but this time when the door opens, it's dark and there's no noise inside. There's no one there to say hello. And I just started thinking about that. And then before, I was thinking about, like, with Aiden, like, I think it was just now actually, when I film him when we're playing outside, playing, like, we go to our secret bases, and which is just like the corner and the alley, and and I made the trampoline is our spaceship that I shake when he's in it, and I video that, and I'm thinking, like, now with this Mike Rosen thing, and who am I videoing that for? Maybe it's for me when I want to remember how we had these close times, because as he gets older, teenager, have other friends, he won't want that same relationship with me, and it'll be gone, but I'll still remember it, like when I talk to Huggy Wuggy, this Poppy Playtime character, all the time, as if he's real, because we have that voice that I do for it. And oh, hello, Aidan. Anyway, so and then thinking that he may find, when I've passed, he'll find these videos and watch them and get sad over those times because it's gone. That's the thing about death. That's the sad thing, is that you can't bring it back. And then those who are left behind, that pain is of feeling that absence. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.